literally inaccurate, like how I spend half of my time at conventions. Oh my god. Oh hey guys, welcome to Cosplay and Coffee. So I think like a month ago I posted in a couple cosplay Facebook groups and on my Instagram and Twitter about what some of your cosplayer pet peeves were. Like what bothers you as a cosplayer, whether that's at conventions or while crafting or just in general. And this was meant to be like a funny video, but I received a lot more comments than I thought I was going to, and you all had a lot to say. And it kind of turned into a thread to where we were all like just discussing our grievances as cosplayers and got a little bit more serious. But I thought it'd be fun to share some of your answers here and then tell you some of my own cosplay pet peeves, things that annoy you in the cosplay world. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. Like I said, I wanted it to be something that was kind of funny to discuss. But whether you're watching or sharing your own pet peeves as a way to vent or just as a form of entertainment, I just wanted this to kind of be somewhere where you can take those annoyances and discuss it with people. Yeah. So we're going to try to make this not too negative and kind of have some fun with it. So I'm going to read you some of your cosplayer pet peeves. But before that, subscribe and like this video. And also get some coffee because I don't have any, so I'll be right back. Okay, so that whole beginning part was out of focus and I was fidgeting with that cloth piece, but you know what? We're just gonna ignore that and move on with life. Alright, so gonna read you some pet peeves, and if you have any, leave them in the comments below. Again, try to make this more of like a positive environment, but if you feel like you just need to vent, leave it down in the comments below. Okay, so Antonio's pet peeve is that big girls or boys don't get the proper attention in the cosplay environment. Hell, most of them do the character research, find the materials, props, fabrics, and the most accurate portrayal possible for the costumes, and are more into it than most quote-unquote sexy cosplayers out there. Sabrina agreed that that also bothers her. I think there were a lot of people who commented about like sexy cosplays, and I know that's such a taboo subject, but I kind of get it. Like, I don't do the sexy cosplay. I mean, I guess like the true like boudoir, so I can see how that could be frustrating. But really, what's really frustrating is how people like Alice and Tabitha are just so damn good at armor builds. Like, how do you do that? Like, everything's so precise, perfect. God, it bothers me. Just kidding. Jonathan said, people ripping into gender bends or skimpy cosplay. People getting mad because it isn't accurate. So kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. Yeah, that's actually like the basis of my cosplays. Gender bends are my absolute favorite, and I love doing alternate versions. Actually, like movie accurate is the complete opposite of what I like to do. So I don't get a lot of hate on my cosplays. I recently had somebody give me suggestions on Reddit of how to improve my cosplay. That's annoying, but Sabrina said, I hate when people compare you to another person, especially one who has become a big name in cosplay and also has more money to spend on an outfit. Whilst it may seem like a compliment at first, it is very demeaning and discouraging. God damn. When it is quote unquote your outfit, reminds me of insert big name. If you did it more like them, would be the only way to improve it. Wow, that's really freaking rude. Kirsten says, where do I begin? I'll just leave it at those who look down on any form of cosplay, whether it be sexy cosplay, gender bends, plus size cosplay, original concepts for established characters, etc. If you put on a costume, it's cosplay. Period. End of story. Probably sums up everyone's pet peeves in the cosplay community in that one comment. Corey said, people taking my picture without letting me know or asking. I have yet to say no to anyone who asks for a photo. It's not hard to ask, plus you get a better photo since I can strike a pose for the camera. And then he put, quote unquote, Kylo Ren force choking the camera is a far better image than, quote unquote, Kylo Ren looking at keychains in Artist Alley. Sam K said, bullying and backbiting. Marty, Orlando Cosplay, said, people bite each other's back? The fuck? Melissa said, biggest pet peeve is people saying someone cannot cosplay a character due to size, gender, color of skin, you name it. Cosplaying is about having fun because you get to dress up as your favorite character. This was a really big one, pretty much like the general people saying you can't cosplay as someone, or people demeaning bigger cosplayers, not movie accurate cosplayers, etc., etc. Kaylin, sorry if I am saying that wrong, it's spelled kind of crazy, cool. Anyway, she said, I have a few. I'd have to say that my biggest though is probably when people look down on you for commissioning a cosplay when you don't have the skill or experience to make it. She says for her cosplay, she'll credit the person who made it, and then she doesn't get as much praise, or she gets bashed in private messages because she didn't make it all by hand herself. Even if she designed it herself and then like just gave it to somebody to commission. I don't think there's anything, I've said this before in like my cosplay reviews, like obviously I buy them. So many people buy them. Like anyone who wears a Spider-Man suit, it's a purchased cosplay. Like I get it for people who work so hard and so long on cosplays and they don't get the credit for it, and then people who purchase cosplays get like a lot of praise. But I mean, it doesn't matter, guys. It's like a costume. Lydia says, I've had a few people play 20 questions with me when I do my gender bends because they don't believe I'm a real fan or actual nerd. Wow. Corinne said some of hers are wanting to do a daring cosplay but held back due to budget, materials cost a lot of money, and unfortunately the body shaming. Yep. Andrew said, quote unquote, how do I get into / start cosplaying? I really want to do an entire video on this just because like it does seem like a silly question, but I don't know, I have a few things to say about it, so if I ever do that video, I'll link it down below. Kendra said gatekeeping in any form, really. Caitlin said updo wigs that don't cover the sides of my head. Yep. Paige, oh hey girl. Canary of Melbourne. Said having to take off my full costume including any fishnets, corsets, bodysuits, 3 layers of skin, my dignity. Oh my god, I love you. Hold on. Paige said, having to take off my full costume, including any fishnets, corsets, bodysuits, 3 layers of skin, my dignity, and boots in order to pee for like 30 seconds, sat there in full nakedness, and then to put it all back on again. Literally inaccurate, like how I spend half of my time at convention. Oh my god. So in one group in particular, there were almost 300 comments, so I can't get through all of these, but I'm going to go through as many as I can. Bobby said blackface. Jack said snowflakes. Jackie said pieces of costume falling every second because you made it too big, so you have to pull on it all day. That happened to me. What was I wearing? Oh my god. So I did, it's gonna sound silly, but I did a J.K. Rowling cosplay, as in the author of Harry Potter, yes. I made her dress that she wore to the final Harry Potter premiere, the big green, I'll just put the picture. Anyway, and I wore it to Dragon Con, and I was toting around literally a tripod and a camera, and the dress was falling down, and it's like a trailing dress, so I had to also pick it up, and like, if you've ever been to Dragon Con, it's uphill. Oh my god, it was a mess. Krista said fabrics being the wrong color. I am actually for sure going to do a video on this because I have an obsession with Rit dye. I think it's a lifesaver in the cosplay community. I don't know if that's what she's referring to, but like if you can't find the right fabric color, Use Red Dye. That's my secret. Sharon said, this would be my daughter's Sammy mini cosplay pet peeve. When your mom has all the supplies for 4 different cosplays for months and has not yet started sewing any of them yet. I think that's so cool that your daughter has her own cosplay page. Oh, I can't. I know a lot of kids cosplay, but it's not like, I don't think it's as big as some other hobbies. Like a lot of kids are into YouTubing and stuff like that, and I don't think as many are into cosplay, but I cannot wait. Like I can like see this becoming like a thing. I keep saying like, I'm sorry. Jillian said, speaking over me in my panels or asking excessive, what is wrong with me? Or asking excessive questions. People came to the I'm done. Let me just start over. Jillian said, speaking over me in my panels or asking excessive questions. People came to the panel to hear my content, not your blabber. So, and then Bobby said, that annoys me when people do that too, or asking something completely unrelated to the panel or person. I haven't done a panel yet, but that sounds really annoying. Lauren said, people not knowing personal space, especially when I am in full armor. That was another big thing. Pretty much like the Can you hear my pug huffing and puffing her way? Hi, baby. What's wrong? Come here. Oh, the pug. Oh, my baby. I'm up here with mommy. That's my coffee. Oh, my baby. Okay. But yeah, that was another big thing was personal space. So I'll get to a couple of those. Jeanette said, someone telling you what would make the cosplay better, wig color, fabric choice, etc. And then Anna said, this happened to me with a guy who follows me on Instagram. He found me at a con and everything was going nice until him and his friends started telling me all the mistakes my cosplay had. Dude, I know. I fixed them as much as I could. Don't tell me you love my work and then tell me all the mistakes. Again, another asshole move. If you're gonna be like that, just, wow. I feel like that's a thing that a lot of men do. No offense, I know you don't all do that, but like guys, don't give suggestions for how things could be better. Like we might already know and you're just like it's just rude. Ashlyn said, again, when people give me criticism, I'm not asking for. Liz said, when people cosplay a character they know nothing about, and when you try talking to them about the character, they get really annoyed and try to wave you off. Jasmine said, I don't have a problem with people cosplaying from something they haven't watched, read, played, but the least you can do is be polite when fans of the thing are excited to see you. That makes sense. Like, I don't know. I think I would cosplay a character that I didn't really know. I don't think it's like there's no rules. You can cosplay whoever you want. If you like a look and you want to dress up as it, like obviously you're gonna have to do a little bit of research to like know what their look entails. So I'm sure you know a little bit about it, but yeah, be polite if somebody gets excited about your cosplay, obviously. Katrina said cosplay elitists, also people who don't understand / respect boundaries. Amanda said seeing people not wearing a costume that fits properly. It's just like an OCD thing, she said. Lillian said boudoir shots and pool party versions of things that are just wig, makeup, and scantily clad people that are recognized and praised more than a 2-month or more cosplay project with well-staged photos. And she also said people who are conventionally attractive who buy every piece of their costumes and act shitty towards people who made every piece and embody the characters in cosplay contests for getting better praise. She said, I want to clarify that there's nothing wrong with them to me because I know they normally are done for Prince and Patreon users, but when they outshine the ones who put so much more effort into their cosplays, then it's a problem in my eyes. Remember, this is like a pet peeve thing. She's not like shaming people. She's not saying that those aren't cosplays, I don't think anyway. And I get it. Like I said, I'm never going to be the kind of person who puts out that kind of content, so it's just disheartening when you work on something for so long and it doesn't get as much praise as something that didn't take long. So I get it, but you know, a pet peeve. Richard said bullying by people who think they are superior / elite. Costuming is supposed to be fun. When it is adults causing this drama in the cosplay community, it makes things even worse and sadly it exists regularly. Yeah. Michaela said, when your cosplay does great at home or at private photo shoots and then you take it to a con and it starts falling apart or just causing issues the entire day. Oh, my Sub-Zero cosplay, if you watched my modification tutorial, the icicle pieces, the first time I wore it to a convention, were falling off the entire time. Like, I was in line to get pictures with Jason Momoa and who else did I see? The Lord of the Rings guy. What's his name? I know his name, guys. I cannot. Elijah Wood. So I met both of them, and I felt like an idiot. I had these glue sticks, these like icicles falling off my face, and I'm just like pressing them. That was annoying. Okay, Jasmine, you had so many pet peeves, but I actually remember reading this one and I liked it. Oh, and people complimenting your cosplay and talking shit about the character you're cosplaying in the same breath. It's fine that you dislike the character, but I'm dressed as them, so obviously I like them, and I don't really want to hear it. If you told me that your favorite character is X and I immediately go, oh, I hate that character, I bet you would be a bit annoyed. Natalie said, people who only do eyeshadow but not eyeliner, so their eyes look really sad and it makes me sad. Kristen said, good cosplays, bad wigs. Tilly said, people who openly shame and harass a cosplayer. Used to have a friend who did this to some girls. I am not friends with her any longer. Good for you, Tilly. Ooh, Matthew said, people who touch your props without permission and people who decide to test your props, for example, punching your shield. Had this happen at DragonCon where a guy decided to see if my Captain America shield was legit. Bad news for his hand? It is. Oh, can you imagine though if they ruined it? Madeline said, when the wind and lighting don't cooperate in outdoor shoots. Somebody said lewds. I think this is a thing that bothers a lot of people, but not a lot of people want to be open about it because it's such a taboo subject. Anna said, where's your boyfriend? Every female cosplayer should have a boyfriend that carries your stuff and takes pictures of you. Well, sorry, I'm a strong, independent woman who needs no man to carry my stuff around. Yeah. And then Michaela said, plus how rude is it making your boyfriend be your manslave just because you didn't want to carry your own props? For real. Becky said, 1. Unsolicited advice. I realize you mean well, but if I didn't ask for advice on my cosplay, then please don't. 2. Creepy/douchey photographers. I also met a photographer who justified doing upskirt shots because he spent good money on his equipment, so he should be allowed to take photos of whatever he wants. What? I feel like that guy needs to be exposed so nobody works with him because that's scary. Bianca said, hate it when non-cosplayers giving cosplay advice. Ugh, if we want it, we'll ask. When people stop in middle of hall or in front of panels to take pictures, like please move to the side or quickly take photos. That was by Ebony. And I work at a theme park and I cannot tell you how much I hate when people just stop in the middle. Oh, I can't. Becky said cosplayers who insist they're the only one who's allowed to be that character. Last I checked, the fans don't own any characters. I cosplay Mei from Overwatch and I just love meeting other people who cosplay Mei and see how they do it. Don't judge me if I said that wrong, I'm sorry. Alright, I'm not even halfway through with these. Kate said, people shaming other cosplayers because the costume isn't that good. We all start somewhere. Solid advice. Kiara said, I hate when the cosplay is on point but they aren't wearing a lick of makeup. Laura said, don't know if it's been mentioned, but when people use satin for everything, please, there are other fabrics in the world, I'm begging you. Nicholas said, stepping on my cape. I use strong magnets to keep my tape attached to my tunic, and people are not paying attention, walking too close and whatnot, and pulling on it is not fun. That happened with me with my J.K. Rowling dress. Like, people kept stepping on it, which is why I bundled it up and carried it, which was annoying. Bree said, literally being a walking sweat dispenser. I could be in a bikini cause and I'd still be a gross and sticky sweat monster, and I get that in some weird corner of the internet that's hella kinky. Go you do you, fam. But like, I don't want it. Oh my god. Ryan said, people wearing regular everyday clothes, adding a prop or cheapo Halloween mask and calling it cosplay. That shows zero effort went into and you're simply looking for attention. Stop it. Oh, me. Sorry to bother you, Ryan. There were like 30 replies to this, and I'm assuming it's people defending it. So Jordan said photos without consent. And I read this a couple times and I can't find all of the comments on it, but like photos without consent was a huge cosplayer pet peeve. And I've seen that, like, and I think it's especially from people who are non-cosplayers and like are going to the convention to purchase thing or meet celebrities or whatnot, but they'll just see a cool cosplay and they'll just be like, and I'll look over and be like, dude, ask for a picture, that's creepy. Riker said, not able to take in fake weapons into Comic-Con. They said I couldn't take in the fake gun prop. It was my first year going. I didn't know we couldn't take in fake weapons. I had to walk all the way back to the car. That's annoying. Shannon said, for one, don't touch me, I'm not a toy. I catch a lot of crap for my gender bend cosplays. People just don't get it or assume I have gender issues. I like to push the envelope and cosplay characters that are a bit of a challenge. The process and the feeling felt after the reveal is amazing. There's nothing like it. Gender bend cosplays are the best. I will defend that forever. Kelsey said, people who act superior because they do/don't do lewd cosplay. Quote unquote, I could get famous faster if I were doing lewds, but I'm above the heh. Maybe so, but you could also get famous by getting better, being more creative, etc. Someone else's success has no effect on your own. True. Blackfacing, that just goes without saying, shouldn't even have to be said. Bianca said, I hate it when someone claims they made something when they bought it offline. There is no shame in that, but don't lie to me about it. Who does that? Come on, guys. People who talk shit about other people's cosplays. When Nicole said, when people think cosplaying is all about Instagram followers and not just the fun of dressing up. This is a huge pet peeve of mine, actually, and I'll stop there because there's so many, and this is already really long. But anyway, that's a huge pet peeve of mine, is when people talk about their Instagram following and the algorithm and how, you know, their engagement's not a lot, and I get wanting recognition for your hard work. But if cosplay is literally a hobby for you and you do it for fun, why do the numbers matter to you? You need numbers and stuff if it's a business, or, you know, like statistics to get into, like, to be like a cosplay guest, or if you know, want to sell products or a service, or like use cosplay in that kind of aspect. But if you don't, if cosplaying is literally just a hobby for you and your goal in 3 years from now is to like be a freaking like doctor, why, like, just use it as a hobby. Don't waste so much, like, life is short. Don't waste time on the internet because you want to say that you have 10,000 Instagram followers for no reason. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, biggest pet peeve. What are some of mine? People who give unsolicited advice that just like automatically grinds my gears. Another one of my pet peeves, this is more for like in life, not just the cosplay community, is when people who give advice can't take it. Or, again, cosplay elitists who think that they know everything, says their opinion on something, they have to respond and say, like, fight their point of view even further, as if they're right. What else bothers me? Okay, that's enough for today. If you guys have any of your own cosplay or cosplayer pet peeves, leave them in the comments. Try to keep it positive. Try not to argue. We all get frustrated with some things in the cosplay community. And anyway, what you might be bothered by today, you might not be bothered by like in a month or so from now. So it's all just about the experience, guys. And if something bothers you, like, you can talk about it and you can argue about it, but like, don't let that affect your thinking of people. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna be doing a couple more like simple ones just to keep like some content going that's not all tutorials and stuff, because those take a lot of time. So I'm trying to fill in the gaps with like some cosplayer collaborations, talking about this kind of stuff, you know. And if you want to give me some suggestions on what other kind of videos I can do like this, I'm going to do one on cosplayer hacks that you guys have told me about, and some other stuff coming up. So make sure you subscribe and stuff. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Cheers, and I'll see you next time. I forgot, I found a few other ones on Instagram. Ben Patton, wow, Jesus, said people who see cosplay as a competition or who feel the need to tear down other cosplayers. I'm not Brad Pitt, said getting your props banned from a con. Sad. Ray said, when people ask for a photo of you but call you by the wrong character. This has happened to me so many times. Like, I had a Jigglypuff cosplay and people thought I was with a group of people, but they thought I was in Eevee Evolution. It's really sad. And then when I do Sub-Zero, people always call me Katana, or however you say her name. Is that her name? I don't even know, because I don't even know who that is, because I only know who Sub-Zero is because he's my favorite Mortal Kombat character. So people just assume because I'm a girl that, and I'm in blue, that I'm doing the girl, which the costume looks nothing like Sub-Zero. So